Hey, welcome to the Ministry Mix podcast, where we're bringing you real conversations for the souls and strategies of ministry leaders. I'm Phil Gifford, and I'm joined by my co-host, Richard Pope.
Ho, ho, ho!
Whether you're a seasoned pastor, ministry leader, or just stepping into leadership for the first time, we are here to share stories, insights, practical tips to help you lead strategically while caring for your soul.
Today we have a special guest, Buddy the Elf.
In each one of our episodes, we'll dive into topics that matter for your mission, your calling, your Christmas experience, and your personal growth.
Do you like Christmas cookies?
I love Christmas cookies.
I love Christmas cookies.
I can eat a lot of Christmas cookies very quickly.
How many?
A lot.
Can I see?
No. So when we first moved into our house in 2010, my wife and I were, maybe it was probably me because she's smarter than me. We decided to have the entire church over, which at that time was like a 250 person church that I was pastoring. We invited in like an open house, like a week after we bought the house for a cookie open house.
Was she mad?
No, it was her. I thought it was her idea, but it might not have been. So I want to be careful. Like if she listens to this, being like, it was definitely your idea.
You're in so much trouble.
But she made like 1,500 cookies over the course of a week. And we just like lined our kitchen table with them and we ate good.
Okay, in case you can't tell where this episode's going.
This is Christmas.
Today's topic is 8 Christmas outreaches you can do today. In other words, what can you be doing to reach people this Christmas season?
Yeah, this is the last episode kind of before we take a little break for Christmas and into the new year. And so we wanted to end this first part of our podcast, if you will, our first season, just thinking about Christmas and outreach, and especially for the frustrated pastor, maybe the frustrated ministry leader that just is longing to see their church grow and just wondering about Christmas. Maybe you don't have a big budget, but just things you can do today to utilize the Christmas season to help connect people to Jesus.
And something I'll just say, and not for the sake of arrogance or for boasting, we talk about a lot on this podcast. We talk about things we're learning. We talk about things that other people are teaching us. We talk about things that we've experienced. But sometimes we have the opportunity to really, I feel like, pour in and share something that we're really, really, really good at. Not arrogantly, not boastfully saying that. I would say Phil and I are both, and our churches are really, really, really good at outreach, whether that be small scale micro outreaches or bigger community engagement events. So these ideas are things we've done. They're battle tested. They work.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for help, this is it.
Yep. Our churches both are highly strategic in different ways, but still very intentional about doing outreach events, outreach opportunities, getting our people to engage their communities. So this is definitely something we feel like we can speak into and have learned. We should do an episode down the road of bad outreach events we've done, because that'd be fun. Like maybe you've never done a bad outreach, but we definitely have.
One time, it was a Christmas outreach. One time.
You want to share it?
One time I made, he's now our kids pastor, David. He might be a guest on some episode.
We should bring David in.
Part 2. We made him dress up like an elf and walk around handing out presents to kids in the community. And it was super creepy, dude. So that was our biggest outreach fail, because he's just knocking on doors saying, "Hi, I'm David the Elf. Would you like a toy?" So we've done bad, and that's the thing, guys.
Well, he wasn't arrested, so apparently he's still your children's pastor.
He's ordained too.
Yeah, there you go.
But here's the thing that I would say to ministry leader: if you're discouraged, like you tried something last year and it didn't work, you only get good by failing. Like we found out, and I'm sure, Phil, this is what you guys did. We found out what works and doesn't work in our context. Phil is in Harford County in Maryland, wildly different than Salisbury. Right, like wildly different contexts. So some things work here that Phil couldn't do, or we do them differently. Same idea, same style event, but completely different way we do it, because you have to reach the people you're reaching.
Contextualization of your outreach. Just because some church in the town over or the
Bible Belt
or the the outreach magazines, like this is what's working, doesn't mean you need to do that. In fact, one of the things you're going to notice about our list of 8 is that we tend to both think and see the most success, not in the big hype, multi-thousands of dollars outreach event where you get like 20,000 people to come through. But I see, and maybe you can agree with this or disagree with this, I see far more fruit in the smaller scale moments where you just use the season well to touch a few people's lives.
In boxing, there's this idea, completely off topic. You lead with your jab, right? You can throw a nasty right hook, but the chance of that right hook landing is a lot lower. So you put all your energy into one strong punch, and if you miss, you miss. But if you lead with the jab, right, those quick little taps, that little tap, 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 you might miss a couple of those, but they don't take a lot of energy. They're not super hard on your body, so it's easier to throw them. You're more likely to deal some damage. So outreach leaders in churches, as you're planning for the season, I would say lead with your jab.
That's really good.
Don't feel like you have to throw this massive event. Maybe you do. Something we do around the Christmas time, and we'll share a little bit about this, is we do little events leading into a larger event. But even our large event, so to speak, man, it's still not that much energy, that much money. So lead with your jab.
I love that. And cumulatively, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and it's easier on your people a lot of times and your budget, probably.
So it's Christmas season. We're excited about Christmas. Let's talk about 8 things you can do like today to reach your community and connect people to Jesus. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah. So the first one is deliver Christmas cookies. And that's literally it. Like, it sounds so simple. But like, again, lead with your jab. Simplicity is your friend. So get Christmas cookies. One piece of advice there, if you're delivering to like police departments, things like that, I would actually encourage you to buy them sealed. Post-COVID, the world's, even in the kind of argumentative divisiveness of our culture, people are always afraid the cookies are poisoned. I'm like, listen, we're from a church. That doesn't mean anything anymore. So go buy Christmas cookies, make them if it's someone you know or have a relationship with. You literally can just take a tray. And this is how we just did this actually 2 nights ago at Canvas. You walk into a business, you walk into an organization, you say, hey, from a local church, here's a little bit of information on who we are. You don't have to tell them, just give them a flyer. We love you. We're grateful you're in the community. How can we serve you?
That's good.
Yeah. It's that simple though.
Yeah. And I think what you said is good. If you have a personal relationship with those people and they trust you, they trust your kitchen, they trust your cleanliness, then you can bake the cookies. And that actually is more more meaningful.
Yeah.
Than like you went to Walmart.
I 100% agree.
But if you're going to some strangers and you're dropping off, like buying the trays from your local Walmart or BJ's is better.
And I really was thinking more so the police department. The hospital. Typically governmental organizations are going to be more receptive if they may
throw away your homemade cookies just because they don't know where it came from.
And they don't know what your agenda is.
Exactly.
But man, especially if you're doing this year round connecting with people, man, go bake 12 cookies, little snowman cookies, and take them to the coffee shop next door to your house. Like that all day.
And let me way to level that up is don't just drop the cookies off and go, because like, who knows where they're from? Like, write a hand note. Like, it doesn't takes 2 extra seconds to write a handwritten note that says, "Hey, we're praying for you this season. Praying for you as you spend time away from your families to serve our community, to like the police station." Just add that extra touch of communication to let them know who they're coming from. But you can do that to everybody in your neighborhood. You can do that to every business around your church, and it takes very little effort.
And just a side note, you could actually do this year round.
Yeah.
You just do Christmas cookies at Christmas time.
Yes, like just the frosting color changes in January,
100%.
But it's still just as impactful. In fact,
100%.
I don't know that I would do this during Christmas as much as I would, even though it's on our podcast. Like, I may even lean toward doing this in January when it's able to do.
But if you are a brand new to this Christmas outreach thing, guys, this is an easy win.
Great start.
Imagine if you got 10 people from your church. They get together, give them the cookies, they go out in 3 teams.
Yep.
You just touched 3 businesses. It took 20 minutes.
Yep. Super easy. The second one on our list is actually one that you've done more than I've done. And again, it goes back to economy and demographics, but a toy drive or giveaway. Can you tell us what Canvas did last year?
Yeah. We've done it a few times. So Christmas Eve services are hard. My church is like a third, even more so a year ago. Our demographics changed a little bit this last year as we've grown, but like a third of our church is young professionals, young families. Most of the members of our church, I'd say over 60, 70%, are not from the area I'm in. So the 20-somethings with a 1-year-old or the 20-somethings who don't have kids yet, they always go home. So a third of my church leaves, and then another third of my church is college kids who leave. So I have this small contingent of people who are here for Christmas Eve. So we actually connect it to our Christmas Eve service. We collect toys all of November, December, and then we just tell the community, hey, we're having a community Christmas party. It's literally just Christmas Eve service. Like to non-Christians, when we sing Christmas worship, it's really just Christmas sing-along time.
Yeah.
And we found a way to package our Christmas Eve service. But here's the driving thing we say. We're going to collect toys and give toys away. We do Santa. I know some people are anti-Santa, but we preach the gospel. We have
Do you make David be Santa?
He's an elf.
Okay.
We have he's still in elf school. We have a 30, 40 minute Christmas Eve service, but very hard gospel message, very clear gospel presentation. And after that, everybody just goes downstairs. Every kid gets 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 toys, gets to take a picture with Santa and eat cookies.
That's so good.
It's been great for us.
Yeah, we've never done a toy drive like that, just because our demographics is slightly different, and a lot of people in a lot of like non-Christian, non-religious organizations do that in our communities. So it's just not as much of a need where we live. But you guys are unique, and it's really being a cool way to connect people. So again, know your context, know what connects, and run with that.
Yeah.
This is one that we've done that's different, slightly different, but adopt a family in need.
So good.
And so every Christmas, our church for the last couple of years has partnered either with our school that we meet in and just email the guidance counselors. Are there families that you know of who are going to struggle this Christmas season? Like we don't want them to struggle. And so sometimes they connect us with based on confidentiality. Sometimes they don't. Depends on the family's preferences. Right. But that's a way we reach out to the school. We also reached out to our crisis pregnancy center and said, are there some families that would fit and need some help there too? So we adopted 5-6 families, and we go all out. We get the names of their kids, their favorite colors, their sizes, their favorite toys. And so we actually put a Christmas tree together. I don't, but our Kate, Kate from our church, she puts together like Christmas ornaments with like a thing to get or a need, and people just pull the ornaments off and bring them like, and so that way,
like an angel tree.
Exactly. It really does pull the church together.
Yeah.
But it definitely blesses a smaller group of people because you're just really focusing on 3 or 4 families, but it keeps your people in the mindset of serving their neighbors, which extends beyond just that actual moment.
No, that's so good. And something I want to point out about what Phil did, when you're doing outreach, there's the immediate reach and there's a story it tells.
Yep.
And we could do a whole episode on this. But one of the things that makes an outreach effective is not just the reach, but the story.
Yep.
So what Phil just did in that, when he reaches out to the guidance counselor, he just created positive relational equity with a partner while blessing a family.
Yep.
And that's like a double down. I feel like that's a double win.
Yeah. And you don't want to you don't want to be a salesman or or make this feel weird. Like, get a picture with the people you're giving gifts to.
Sure,
but like sometimes we'll take a picture of the Christmas gifts coming in, like not the people, but just the gifts, and be like excited to serve some families in need. And like, I don't want to be too, again, I really want to be careful to draw the lines between self-promotion and service. But your community loves that stuff.
Yeah.
And I want to show them, you need to show them that your church loves people.
You can tell a story without being arrogant.
Exactly. Yeah. Or like, this is our mission. You're our mission.
You're proving
you're our project.
You're proving you care about what you say you care about. As long as you make it about Jesus and loving your community, I've never had people get mad at us for it. It only gets weird when you talk about how great your church is.
Aren't we so amazing? Look at the gifts we're giving.
Look at us saving everybody.
Yeah. No, show them that you love people because Jesus has loved you.
Amen.
And whatever way you can do that in a way that's not too cheesy or arrogant.
So good.
So next one, you want to go with this one?
Yeah, the next one is nursing home visits. Listen, guys, I know, the younger your church is, the more that this is going to make you go, yeah. Because that's the thing. You visit a nursing home. One time I heard this joke. It said, how do nursing homes get more customers? Once a year, all the 80-year-olds come from the local Baptist church to serve cookies to the nursing home. And they go, wow, this would be a nice place to live. But hey, our church average age 28 to maybe 32.
Yeah.
That's super young church. We for a while had adopted a nursing home. It's a assisted living center technically, but every third Sunday of the month we were doing a service. But Christmas time, we would go in, sing Christmas songs, a couple from the band, wear Santa hats, ugly Christmas sweaters, tons of cookies, and we just threw Halloween. We're gonna get canceled now. We just threw a giant Christmas party for the nursing home. One of my favorite memories is I was playing guitar with a friend of mine in our church band. The worship Christmas message time was over. People are just dancing, and the music goes out, so we just start playing. It was like for 5 minutes, but he starts singing. What's that song? Can't Help Falling in Love. You know that oldie?
Yep.
And he sings it, and this older lady just lights up, beams ear to ear. Now I'm like, man, he's married, so stay away, lady. But to give them attention, to give them love, for the older generation, the epidemic is loneliness.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people don't get visited. We found that in the nursing home we were serving, less than half of them would see a family member on Christmas.
Wow.
So for you, I would almost argue this outreach opportunity will not just help you love your community and fulfill Christ's call for the church to reach the widows, the lost, the sad, the tired. But man, also it's going to help your people really, really, really learn to appreciate community. I found that the people who served at the nursing home were way more likely to get plugged into small groups. Because loneliness terrifies us as humans. Guys, this is so easy though. Even if you don't have worship, let's say you're a smaller church, we have like 30 people in our band that rotate through. So this was easy for us.
Yeah.
It could be as simple as you taking a boom box or a speaker, playing Christmas music and having cookies and just serving them. You don't even have to have service.
It doesn't have to be good.
No, because they don't have anything.
Yeah.
So when you go in and do something cool, our people loved it. And that nursing home and us, we don't have a partnership anymore. They replaced us. They fired us. I got another church. I was like, ouch.
I'm so surprised.
Yeah. I was. It was over theological things.
Yeah.
We were too conservative theologically for them, which is fine. But man, I'm like, I want another nursing home. I want to have another Christmas party. I loved it. So,
well, I think you're touching at something that's really important to hear. A lot of these outreach ideas, they're not just touching and the people that you're engaging, but they're also building a culture of your people of servanthood, of engagement, of sacrifice, and
it's equipping the saints for the work of the ministry.
So this will have cumulative effect in the way your people view their community that will lead toward them inviting their friends, singing more, joining a small group. So outreach is not just about the actual reach. Sometimes about the people you're becoming.
Eugene Cho in his book Overrated. Are you familiar with Eugene Cho?
Mm-mm.
He has he has this ministry called A Day's Wages. Basically, you can help impoverish people by giving up 1 day of wages a month. So every month you give whatever you make in a day, which is kind of a high cost, honestly, for some families. But when he was trying to raise money for this and launch this ministry, he pastored in Seattle. He didn't take wages for a year. So for 3 years, they prepared for this. And he wrote a book about that experience. And there's this line. I'm actually looking at the book somewhere over here. He said, the greatest work of justice is not what you're doing in your community. It's what the Lord is currently doing inside of you. Mm-hmm. Friends, when you're doing these outreaches, the work is not just what you do to the community. It's what the Lord does in you and your people through the work to the community. I love that quote.
And Christmas is a strategic time where you can make that happen.
Everyone's lonely and happy.
Yep. Lonely and happy. Yeah.
Pretty juxtaposed, isn't it?
It's true. Well, one of the interesting other outreach is number 5 on our list.
I've never done this one.
You've never done this one? So I guess it's good that I'm taking this one. Right?
Please do, yeah.
We randomly just started talking. Yeah. But Christmas caroling. This is, it's not all that much different than the nursing home you're doing. Sure. You're just going to actual homes. So yeah, for several years we've done community Christmas caroling, and we'll just get a small group together, 15 people, 10 people. I'll grab my guitar and we'll hit townhomes, wherever we can go. We'll just start Christmas caroling. And
people respond well to this?
Some it's weird because sometimes you're singing to a Ring doorbell now. So it's
hello,
ding dong. Hey, what can you they think you're Amazon, and so they come to the door looking for a package, and you're like, "Where's my package?" We got a song for you instead.
We have joy to the world.
That's what we do. Yeah, we do 3 songs. The verse, we do 3 songs, first verse of each one, and I would say that 75% of the people that open the door. So obviously 25% are like this is, I want to go back to my football game.
Please leave.
Or, yeah, exactly. But that's not terrible. That's true. That's true for almost any outreach you do.
100%.
There's a group that will be nice, but are not interested.
Yep.
But I can't tell you how many times I've seen parents run and grab their kids, and they'll and then come stand at the door, or they're like, wait, I want to go grab my mom who's living with us, and there's such a nostalgia to that because we've all seen the Hallmark movies where Christmas carols come to the door. But I said I don't ever watch Hallmark movies. But
I have a life.
People,
and a wife,
exactly.
So
people have watched Hallmark. People have seen the iconic Christmas movies where Christmas caroling is a thing, but very few people have experienced it.
And so many people want to get back to the nostalgic Christmas feeling.
Nostalgia, good, kind of that good vibe, good spirit. And so it taps into something that is nostalgic and special for people. Love that. And so we'll go door to door, and we typically choose a townhome community because we can knock on 4 doors at once, and chances are someone will answer that door because people just don't. I don't. Would you answer it? Well, you would. Would you answer the door if some random person knocked? You probably would.
Yeah.
You're friendly.
Yeah, I'm not antisocial.
Yeah, we're not. So
Yeah.
we're Harford County, dude.
Right.
So,
right.
but that's so honestly, we'll knock on 4 doors and start singing, so that way, like, they know something's going on out there.
That's so good. Man, something you said that really struck me is like people have seen this.
But they've not experienced it.
Yeah, that's so. I'm actually chewing on this one. Hey, Canvas staff, when you listen to this episode, because I make them, I'm kidding. I want you guys to add this to our calendar. I think we're gonna do that this year. You just
try it out.
You just changed my life.
Hey, but if it doesn't work, like we have a joke.
We have a bucket of trash ideas.
I should not share this on the podcast, but like there's a couple of bigger churches in our county, and we always joke around, like, if an outreach is going bad, like, put their shirts on and then and like all right, just put this church's t-shirt on and we'll go home. And so
I'm just gonna put on the Jehovah's Witness shirt.
that's a better idea.
Kingdom Hall.
No, but I would rather risk something that may be bad.
I agree.
And we're definitely going to do a podcast episode about bad outreach events. But the other thing we do to level up the Christmas caroling, not to go too long in this section.
You really like caroling, bro. Your buddy the elf.
We will we'll put little packets of like candy, hot cocoa, and a church. So like we're leaving them something like a gift in their hand. So like now their family's got hot cocoa. So how about speaking of hot cocoa, take us to the next one, Richard.
Yeah, we do this one a lot. So there's this thing in Salisbury called Third Friday. Basically, it's like a community event, 600, 700, 800 people, and it ends in the Christmas season. So basically, this year's been warm, but typically September, October, November, December, we'll do this, and then we set them out around the community. Hot cocoa stations.
Yep.
And there, you could also do it as a door-to-door giveaway. You can walk around and hand out mugs of hot cocoa in it. But we'll just go to like here's a way to do outreach really cheap and easy, by the way, listener. You don't have to have an event. Go to someone else's event.
Absolutely.
Right? So we'll go to this.
Way better.
It's better because it's a captive audience. You're not spending the money to get them there. And then you can do something small really well. So we have like a great hot cocoa station, like marshmallows. We have like trivia questions and it's like candy. And we do all this. We can run it with 4 or 5 volunteers. Cost us like $200 and we'll serve 800, 900, 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And just to connect, I talked earlier about the jab hook thing. Our big community Christmas party I talked about, that's a hook, right? That's the big event. This is a jab. So at this event, we'll give a flyer to that bigger event. But man, it is so cheap. Hot cocoa's really cheap. Buy the big tubs of it. Real practical.
Yep.
Don't buy the packets, right? Buy the big tubs. Yep. You buy the big tubs. You get it to taste. Don't use milk. Like use water at these events. At least we do.
Yeah, we use water.
Milk would get weird. And if you want to be really fancy, you can actually go to like Sam's Club. They have different flavor tubs. And we've done that where it's like do you want the
peppermint hot cocoa?
Or do you want peppermint? Or do you want like a spiced hot cocoa?
Ooh.
There's a pumpkin spice hot cocoa.
Who knew?
We've not ventured there, but you could also do this door to door. I will say, we've done both. I'm a bigger fan of the community event one because and this is going to actually kind of back to Phil's thing about with the school and the guidance counselor, man, the city of Salisbury calls us now whenever they need hot cocoa for an event.
That's so good.
We are the hot cocoa people.
Nothing wrong with that.
And they've even, last year, the city of Salisbury bought all the hot cocoa for their big Christmas light event. Like thousands and thousands of dollars of hot cocoa. It was the biggest. We literally had like 12 tubs of hot cocoa going at once and like 30 volunteers. And we were inviting people to our church and the city paid for it.
That's so good.
Because we are the hot cocoa people.
Yeah.
Simple things done well.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people, when we do Christmas outreach, my goal is not to get them to our church during Christmas.
I agree.
Like I'm not trying to get them to come to a Christmas Eve service. It'd be nice, and we put information about that. But my goal is to make a relational touch that will hopefully in the new year allow us to reach into their lives. Maybe like, January comes around, maybe we should go back to church, or it's actually just
Easter.
Yeah, outreach is so multifaceted.
100%.
Like if we serve them hot cocoa on a Friday night, but your neighbor invites them to church, like or they see a social media thing that we're doing.
Yeah, we should do an episode on social media.
All of that works together. So hot cocoa stations, hot cocoa door to door, whatever works.
In sales, they talk about it takes 8 contacts to get a deal.
Poor,
my mic is
poor
like
Richard is like wrestling with his mic.
In sales, I used to sell copiers, random side story. But they used to say it takes 8 contacts to get a sale. I don't want to make ministry sale, but I will say, listen, I don't go anywhere the first time I hear about it. So one of the goals of outreach is not to get them to do a thing. It's to show them who you are.
Yeah.
And as you build that relationship, man, going to church when they go through a hard time is easy when you've given them 10 hugs already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. The seventh idea here is that we can support businesses and employees. Did you smell the microphone?
Yeah.
Was it weird?
Dude, I'm kind of tired. I really thought I smelled Christmas cookies.
We're talking about Christmas cookies, and I mean, I didn't see you smell it, but I heard it in my headphones.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
So anyways,
seventh idea.
So we don't edit these in case you can't tell.
Yeah. Raw conversations.
Yep. So that's what we get for recording in the afternoon after eating some delicious food. So supporting businesses and employees, and this is, you might have written this one down because I don't remember this one in my brain, but the reality is businesses and employees are going hard during Christmas. They're working long hours. If there's some any practical, you know what businesses are in your community, you know what you see. Honestly, if you can just smile at some employees as a member of the church, like just be kind to the target employee that looks like they've been working for 42 hours straight. But then even as a church, drop them off donuts. Hey, we know you're working hard. Do a coffee, whatever creative ideas that looks like, find a way to serve them.
And something I would say, a lot of times when we talk about outreach, it's like, well, people are busy. They have sports practice and trumpet practice, and they have, job. Here's the thing. If you really want to make an impact with this, go at like 7:30 p.m. Mm. Go to the people who work late.
Yeah.
Which means your people can go. It takes 10, 15 minutes. Again, it's an easy thing. Yep. But if you go to the people who are working late, like nobody ever brings by cookies to the Wawa at 9 p.m. Mm-hmm. Because everyone's in bed. So you could be the people who come at the least likely time, where the people are the most, tired, they miss their families.
Yeah.
We do this a lot on holidays, Thanksgiving, but also Christmas Eve. When people leave our service, we'll typically have a few key leaders take volunteers to go bless people who are working on Christmas Eve.
I love that.
Huge return. Because nobody's going to do it because it's Christmas Eve.
Yeah. So you go into the gas stations, going to the one fast food place that might be open
Hospital,
in town.
Police department.
Yep.
Chinese restaurants.
Absolutely.
They're always open every holiday.
Yep. Big tips, but also just as your church looking for ways. So and I think this is you as a pastor or ministry leader, you need to see your community through where the needs are. Like what's around you. So the last one is an open house. Basically, and I was speaking, when I wrote that down, that was more of, in my opinion, just like as a family.
I agree.
So not necessarily a church. You can do that at your church. I would be much more likely to go to something in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like do an open house, make 1,500 cookies and invite your neighbors over, throw a party, do a movie night, have Santa take pictures with whatever it is. But like people, it's an excuse to get people together.
Yeah.
So any way you can do that, it's a win.
Have you heard of the 2-to-1 rule?
I'm not.
Have an event at your house that normal non-Christian people do.
Yep.
Invite 2 Christians for every lost person you invite.
I love that.
And and by lost people, man, you're probably inviting your neighbors. If your church is in a neighborhood, you could even invite the neighbors who live around your church. Yep. But the idea is, build relationships with them. And then, they're going to come in contact with Christians. And that's great for your people because Christians have a tendency to hide and recluse, but it's also great for them because they're in a healthy, happy, family-oriented, hopefully your church is family-oriented environment.
You know what we're trying to do this Christmas?
What's that?
It's a little bit more organized than just dropping off hot cocoa at somebody's house, but we're actually trying to build like a walk-through light thing that we would do. So like, you do the drive-through lights. Yeah. I don't know if it's a cheesy idea yet, we're processing it on our podcast.
Yeah, comment.
Hopefully by the time this airs, it'll be already done. But we're, you do the drive-through light shows in a park and they've got some cool displays. We're trying to make a scaled down version of that could be set up in a neighborhood, like an HOA playground or a small playground where people can just walk to their house, have some hot cocoa, take some cool pictures of the lights, maybe walk through like a very quick thing and then just get together with their neighbors in the middle of Christmas. So super small. But we'll probably have a couple hundred people go through in each neighborhood we do. So why not?
That. Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Why not? So I hope what you're hearing is you don't need to go out and do a living Christmas tree or giant Christmas pageant or drive through nativity.
No more pageants.
You can. I mean, we do a kids pageant, by the way.
That's different. That's not the same thing.
I know. So because find a way to go to the people, engage with them where they're at and serve them and show them Jesus during the season and use the season strategically.
Yeah, so good.
So yeah, I hope these 8 ideas are helpful to you. If you have other ideas, hey, comment on our social media. Let us know what you're doing. Let's brainstorm together. This is a great time to mention we have a Ministry Mix group
on
Facebook where you can like actually engage with one another and share these ideas and brainstorm, because as much as we're learning together, you guys come learn with us. Let's learn together too.
Yeah.
So post some things that you're doing, some things that have worked, some things that haven't worked, and we'll share together. But thanks for tuning into this episode of the Ministry Mix podcast. I hope you found this episode valuable and enjoyed today's discussion. If you found it helpful to you, be sure to subscribe to our podcast. You don't want to miss any of our episodes, even though we're taking a short little break after this. If you got questions or topics you want to talk about, be sure to follow us on social media, comment, let us know. But until next time, keep leading with purpose and caring for your soul.
Peace.